Hello. Sorry I'm a little late. If any of you know my football leanings, you can probably guess why. Oh, fuck. Ajax have just scored a penalty. Oh, Jesus Christ, Chelsea. Oh, bloody Chelsea. One of you is going to have to keep me updated on the damn score of the Chelsea game. Fucking hell, I go for 1 second. But yeah, I hope you're all well. But yeah, someone's going to have to be my little Champions League scoreboard in here, telling me all the scores and when any English team is winning, or interesting games, if any one of you care about football, that is. Oh, wait, what is this? YouTube. I need to close Champions League. But yeah, majority report trying to not full throatedly support any DSA member challenge impossible. Are they supporting this Graham Plattner guy? Jesus Christ. I mean, we'll talk about this, but this Graham Plattner guy is... No. I'm not expecting someone who doesn't watch football to comment, but if someone's watching the football anyway and cares about football, just let me know, because I haven't got my phone, because I've got my... My phone is the camera today. How's everyone doing? So yeah, sorry I was a little delayed. I was shamedly watching some of the Chelsea game, or looking at it, listening to it. But now I'm really involved in this. I'm very excited by this game, but now I'm worried by this game. So I've had a few tweets popping off recently. Maybe I should tweet out, oh, I'm live covering a few things. But, you know. Actually, you know what? Yeah, hold on. I'm just going to say I'm live. I cannot wait to be back in the UK so I can stream. Emma's tweets are the most burger leftist takes. Oh, God. Nice. Nicholas Jackson being from your country. Who doesn't love that? So he's Senegalese. Ekatike scored for Liverpool. That's not really surprising. I'd be surprised if they lost the game. I'm also really hot in here. I don't know if you saw the breaking news, but Plattner claims he got the tattoo covered up. No photo evidence yet. I mean, I don't think it really matters if you got it covered up. I think that the ultimate thing with Graham Plattner is why was he doing 3 service tours in Iraq, right? Like, they were all in Iraq, right? I feel like just going back for more is just crazy, you know? Like, whatever he was doing there, whatever he enjoyed so much is very troubling to me. But, you know, Americans, eh? And I guess we'll look up, what's his name? That was meant to be light-hearted comment on how I don't care about sports. My one exception is figure skating, but even that, 15 year. The ICJ. Wait, you're talking about the ICJ? Because the ICJ didn't rule on the genocide yet. But yeah, I mean, let's have a look at Emma Vigeland's tweets. I'm not sure if the YouTube audience has died or it's just because I'm away, but hopefully once I'm back, we'll be able to get it back up. I guess the quality of the stream and stuff is off-putting to a lot of people, and it's just not as good or consistent. But when I'm back, yeah, hopefully we're able to get it back up. But we move, because we were doing quite well before we left. It was like a few hundred every single time. But you know what? I guess even like having 200 viewers is crazy in relation to a lot of people who just started out streaming, but we move. Hey, the Brits were right with us, not to mention those Australians who went to trial for war crime. Australians, what are you talking about there? It is very American. It's kind of weird over what, getting a Nazi tattoo is just very American. Like, I mean, I know people thought like Nazism was a big joke and people would do like Nazi stuff as a joke, you know, but I feel like there's just such a line between emblazoning your body with a fucking swastika and making stupid, shitty jokes. Or it wasn't a swastika. SS Totenkopfen? Or Totenkopf? Deadhead? Totenkopf? Whatever it is. But yeah. Christopher fell off. Yeah, maybe I did. The tattoo is orders of magnitude less consequential than the military service. I don't understand why Americans care more about that. You know what? I was thinking of making a TikTok about that. It's kind of like saying, but the only thing is actually, I don't think I necessarily agree with you for one reason. Because what I would say about this topic of his tattoo and all of this crap, do you not think it's pretty worrying that that's kind of the constituency of the US military or people who kept going back to Iraq? And so I don't think we should be like so quick to dismiss it, because that was a guy who has killed people. And what, did he believe in Nazism? Like, There's also a lot to say about this. Yeah, I'll be here for 20. My work meeting starts. Good luck with your work meeting. Vets in America do genuinely have a really hard time adjusting to its life. That's why there's so many homeless vets. Also for the tattoo, most Americans don't know that that's a Nazi tattoo and neither did I. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like defending Graham Plattner having a Nazi tattoo and doing service over and over again is, I don't know. I don't see it. Let's have a look at the story. What if he just gets rid of the tattoo? I don't think you can just get rid of the tattoo, to be honest. I think that you've got it, and I think that there's like nothing to really... Like, I understand people can change their opinions, but at the same time, I think like he's still proud of his military service and all these things, and for me, that's like... Say, no, I've not stopped streaming. Coffee on me. Thank you very much, Coffee Lover, as always. Thanks for the $5. I've not stopped streaming at all. I'm away in Canada, basically. That's why you're not seeing me as much. Once I'm back from probably the 2nd, or I get back on the 1st, which is the Saturday, so I'll definitely take the Sunday off. I should be back on the Monday. So basically this is Graham Plattner. Everyone's been loving him. He had some pretty cool Reddit posts from a while ago, but I'm not sure Reddit posts a politician makes. I was like, oh, that's cool, but when I was talking to it with my girlfriend, and you know, ultimately it's just like, hey, he was still this guy who served in Iraq multiple times and kept going back for more. And I get this whole thing of vets not adjusting and blah, 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 all of this stuff. And I do know what you're saying. But at the same time, I feel like just going to Iraq over and over again and participating in the oppression of people, you wouldn't hold like much sympathy for Israelis who did it. So, you know. But yeah, Gold MHS, thank you for being here. I was thinking, by the way, I'll probably do the members thing when I was in the UK, because I was thinking maybe a question thing wouldn't work, because I don't know how many members we'd get on at the moment. So maybe I'll try something else for members. And I'm also going to start doing some writing related stuff. So maybe if there's a way I can get that out to members and like also paywall stuff that I paywall. But yeah, he covered up only the Nazi skull tattoo, not the 1919, as in Paris 1919. Is coffee really $5? I mean, what? Zeb, you live in the UK. Coffee is probably easily $5. In a lot of places, coffee's like what, like £3? Oh, you live in Scotland, I guess. So maybe in Scotland everything's free because you're stealing the Queen's damn oil. But yeah. Oh, whoa. That's whoops. I want to see how badly that looked. I accidentally knocked the... Oh, I was like, oh shit, you're going to see outside, but you didn't see outside. Now I need to just reorient the camera. It looks so good on my end. It's so annoying that I don't have my lighting, but we move. We move. I can't believe people are literally defending 4 tours. I think the going back for the Blackwater thing is crazy as well. Like, that's one of the craziest part. Like, what is so good about killing people in Iraq? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but we move. Someone else just donated, but I can't see it. Why did you freak out? Are you wearing pants? Yeah, I'm wearing shorts, and it's not a problem. I was more worried that I'd showed, like, outside, you know, and people would see it, or I'd showed something that I didn't want you to see. For example, my huge collection of Legos and my Lego Hamas training camp that I've built or been building for years. That's a joke. I'm not actually building a Lego Hamas training camp. That's very silly. Shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. I'm getting tired of hearing, but Susan Collins, who is Susan Collins? I don't know who Susan Collins is. Graham Plattner, a Democrat candidate for the US Senate in Maine, said on Wednesday that a tattoo on his chest had been covered to no longer reflect an image widely recognized as a Nazi symbol. He said he got the crossbones in 2007 when he was in his 20s in the Marine Corps. It happened during a night of drinking while he was on leave in Croatia. Actually, I was about to say, was Croatia a good place to get a Nazi tattoo? But isn't that actually a great place to be getting a Nazi tattoo? I don't believe you prove it. I'm not getting up and showing you that I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing some lovely Lululemon shorts that my girlfriend got for my birthday, so that's cool. Right. Plattner added that he... Plattner in an AP interview said that while his campaign initially said he would remove the tattoo, he chose to cover it up with another tattoo due to the limited options where he lives in. By the way, if you get a tattoo removed, it just leaves a big scar, doesn't it? Depending on what it is, how deep, how long you've had it, and how good it was or well it was done. And probably if you're getting a Nazi tattoo in Croatia, it may not be the best tattoo. But yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. By the way, I think that whoever said that thing is right, but as I said, yeah. Honestly, everyone is being really fucking precious about a choice that doesn't really require feelings. What do you mean? The Nazi tattoo? Plattner added that he had never been questioned about the tattoo's connections to Nazi symbols in the 20 years he had had it. He said it was there when he enlisted in the army. I mean, that's also crazy. That is crazy. What did Arsner say? I didn't see it because I'm not in top chat. Also, thank you so much, Coffee Lover. Strip now. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Chelsea awarded a pen. Are you kidding? Is that a joke? Chelsea penalty. Penalty. Enzo Fernandez draws a foul in the penalty area. You could just get it blacked out. I mean... Why not get... You know when they go on, like, tattoo fixers? Have you seen tattoo fixers? Where they just go, like... Yeah, I've got this small tattoo that I don't like, and they just cover it up with the worst thing. Using Lenin to support murder. I feel like using Lenin to support murder would not be that outrageous. Chelsea scored. Oh, ha, ha. Sue. Can't get no coochie out the queen. Put some Lululemon on that, but that Lululemon, I can't be the only black person here. Did you like me saying that? Yes, thank you, Liam. So, I think it's the belief that people can change. If they denounce their service and speak against the imperialism and military-industrial complex, then it'd be more understandable. Yes, and in my understanding, he doesn't. I mean, I've kind of been switched off Graham Plattner because I think maybe my comments were a bit hasty vis-a-vis Zoran Mamdani. I'm not pleased about some of his wishy-washiness on Zionism, and I don't think you should condemn saying globalise the Intifada, because I think it's giving ground to people on something that is important not to give ground on. That the Intifada refers predominantly to non-violent Palestinian resistance, and that Palestinian resistance became more militarised during the Second Intifada as a direct result of Israeli policies. Using Lenin to support imperialism. Although, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this. I'm a big Adam Tooze fan, as some of you may know. Lululemon, that sounds like a Pokemon. It was made by a racist guy who thought it would be funny to hear Asians say that. This book, The Deluge, it's kind of telling me about Lenin's potential collaboration with Imperial Germany, which, as I say, so I knew, like, the consequences-ish of the First World War, but realistically, I viewed the First World War more as an event, and I was like, yeah, the First World War happened and Britain won, but I didn't study it as I got older, and, you know, in the same way I've studied other history. This book is excellent, The Deluge, amazing, like a genuinely fantastic history. I've been reading a lot about this. And yeah, I was really interested in, like, Lenin's potential collaboration with the Germans. Like, amazing. It's a song. Remind me. Oh, I guessed it was a song, but I was like, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that when I said it, he went on 4 tours. Condemning normal Arabic phrases is just racist. Well, yes, Mamdani is someone who I would not say it's coming from a position of racism, but where the problem I would say is like, oh, yeah, don't do that, don't do that. Did you read Blind Owl in English or Farsi? I read it in English. It's good. I haven't read it in years. I remember reading, it's quite short, I read most of it on one singular train journey. I don't really remember all of it. I just remember finding it a bit odd. I couldn't read it in Farsi though. I think you'll like it, it's a good book. I'm black and think the work to act like Palantir needs his image protected are pissing me off. I'm black and think the work to act like Palantir needs his image protected. Wait. Oh, to be honest, so that's another aspect of this that I really wanted to talk about. I actually find the way in which this was found terrifying. The fact that basically Palantir found this arguably crazy, and that they found an old Reddit account that was archived and deleted. Bro, when they find my old Reddit account where I was posting, hey guys, what's the best tour guide in Tajikistan, and posting like about Dota, people are going to be like, what the hell? What the hell? Can someone explain what a tour is of Iraq or Afghanistan? A tour, it will be, I'm no expert in the military, but what a tour basically refers to is probably there is an allotted limit amount of time that a soldier is allowed to go to a specific place. And a tour refers to that amount of time. It basically just refers to one visit to that place. Tour, what does tour mean in the military? Let's find out the exact definition, because that's a very wishy-washy definition. A tour of duty is a designated period of time spent on a specific assignment. Oh, okay, so it's not actually, it can, apparently you can be there for an entire year. Soldiers on active duty 27 for the length of, it's basically when you're there for 24/7 doing military stuff. And it should be fine. Yeah, I've not reused the usernames, but even then, who cares? Who cares? Chris Debatesler. Yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think the debates aren't necessarily a great thing to be doing, but I just don't think I can really stream in the way I do at home. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with taking some time off, because realistically, it's not like I'm ignoring what I do or all of the stuff I care about. I've still been, caring about them, talking about these issues, but yeah, I'm just, I'm kind of taking a bit of a time off, and I think that that's probably a good thing. I don't think we should all just become so consumed with working, is there another penalty in the Chelsea game? Another Chelsea penalty. Jesus Christ. This is an implosion from Ajax. It might be a double for fucking Enzo Fernandez. Incredible. Chris debates slurs. Yes, interesting stream, but it's late. I'll try and get back to a normal time. I'm apologizing, guys, in Gold MHS, but don't worry, I've not given up on this. I'm still enjoying this. Self-care is the bestest. I wouldn't really call it self-care. I'm in Montreal, and I'm happy. I didn't take all that much time off, and YouTube, TikTok, protest around Palestine, and doing small organising. I'm not acting as if, I've given as much as many people have. It took up a lot of time over the last 2 years, and so this year I've had a bit of a slower year in terms of, as many of you know, before I started the YouTube, I was in Italy for quite a while, and then obviously I've been here for a while. Wow, it's 4-1. Estevao! Woohoo! Come on, Chelsea! Why are you in Canada? Because my girlfriend lives here. Also, by the way, I think some of you have worked out who my girlfriend is. It's okay, but yeah, please don't just mention it everywhere. I don't mind, but yeah, it's okay if people will eventually find out. But yeah, it's not something. I just don't want them to be, them to just be involved in the stuff I do, even though they care deeply about what I do. Oh, isn't that Blackwater Merc and Criminal who went to Iraq/Afghanistan 4 times? Did he go to Afghanistan as well? Oh yeah, he did. Nazi symbols in the 20s. But also, by the way, for the person who said the tattoo doesn't matter, I feel like this is also one of the craziest parts of the article, that someone looked him over and was like, you got a Nazi tattoo? Brilliant stuff. But it doesn't surprise me. And also, by the way, I feel like this story is crazy. If any of you remember, Trump pardoned that guy, Eddie Gallagher, who, he was a Navy SEAL who was accused of, I've accidentally set it as, it can replace fenugreek. Navy SEAL pardoned of war crimes. Apparently this guy killed multiple innocent civilians. Okay, that's not surprising. But yeah, the guilty, he wasn't actually found guilty of just murdering a teenager. The teenager was in ISIS, but I think you do have to say, okay, if someone's a prisoner, you shouldn't just slit their throat or do whatever he did to kill them. You just should not be doing that. That is god awful. Yeah, he's just an awful guy, and he got pardoned. Muted. Hey, Pastor Bus. hey, Pastor Bus, guess what's going to happen to you? And do not mention, I have literally just told you, Pastor Bus, do not mention who my girlfriend is. DXR isn't here. He's not here to defend himself. He's a good young German boy. He's a good boy, so don't be talking down on him. Calling it a skull and crossbones is crazy. Bro, I just love skulls and crossbones. I love piracy. The Nazis were pirates. Talked last night with Radakami. Oh, Radakami is... I think she was very much involved in the founding of Exeter. Yeah, she was, and apparently she's lovely. You know Radakami... were any of you there yesterday when the guy was, like, going over my history at University of Exeter, and he was like, so you're funded by Qatar? Qatar have radicalised you into doing jihad for Qatar. And it's like, yep, Qatar have paid me to do jihad. That's something that's happened. Fucking Liverpool are winning 3-1. Unsurprising, though. If they'd lost again, terrible. DXR exposed. Yes. I was reading an article recently about Korean comfort women and how they are seeking justice against the American government. From when? I've never heard about Korean comfort women. King Von, don't know. If you want to get a One Piece flag, looks nothing like the Totenkopf. Oh no, I just want a skull and crossbones that looks like the Nazis. Yeah. Questions about the tattoo come after a recent discovery of Plattner's now deleted online statements that included dismissing military sexual assaults. Was this guy like working under Tectone's dad or something? Oh my god. Imagine if Graham Plattner... Oh my god. Wait. This is... I don't think that there is a non-zero chance that this could actually be in relation to Tectone's dad. Has anyone seen the Reddit statement? I can't find these fucking Reddit posts. Yeah, but either way, he's still advocating for the same system as Tectone. You don't know about comfort women? No, I know about comfort women in the context of... But was that during the Korean War? Or like, I don't know what specifically you're referring to. I can guess exactly what a comfort woman was. I mean, it'll be similar to what was done in Vietnam. The US used... Yeah, of course. I mean, like, it's very similar to what was done in Vietnam. Or it would be similar to what was done in Vietnam. Sorry, I've got fucking terrible eczema on my arm at the moment. I don't know why. I just cleared it up and it just flared up. Oh, we're Americans. Of course we don't know anything about history. Excuses nonsense. There are always opportunities to learn. Yes, and Americans as well should be... Like, one thing I think you forget is, like, the Americans had a civil war. And yes, the American Civil War was, like, heinous, like... And ultimately, like, Lincoln was someone who didn't actually oppose slavery in the way that the most ardent haters of slavery did. But what I will say is that, like, you had, like, this bloody, catastrophic event where America was torn asunder, where huge amounts of lives were lost, where huge amounts of people were killed. I think maybe Americans should be conscious of their history and say, Jesus Christ, we should not be supporting huge amounts of slaughter that tear countries apart, that cause these issues, if you just looked your own history. But then again, I suppose most people look at this and go like, we saved ourselves from the damn slavery. that's not how most them are talking, is it? Fuck all streamers except my brother Chris. No, do not worry. Great. I like Hassan as well. Trump ran an anti-establishment. The label doesn't mean... Yeah, I mean, being anti-establishment is just... If you want to talk about anti-establishment is being anti-capitalist, or capitalist skeptic, my new favourite term, and also being anti-imperialist and pro-Palestine. These are the kind of things that are anti-establishment. Also being, like, engaging with, like, what I don't want to call it radical to be dismissive, but, like, anti-racist politics, which I guess falls under the rubric of like, actually, just, you know what, you could call it anti-racist if you're anti-colonialist, because most of this is just derivative of colonialism anyway, in some way, or comes from colonialism, and derivative, not to dismiss it. Lincoln is portrayed as an abolitionist when he wasn't, at least not in an anti-racist way, but in a homophobic uncle who doesn't believe in gay people should die by firing squad. Yeah. I mean, I think that he said slavery should wither on the vine is my understanding of what his opinion vis-a-vis slavery was. Also, I never knew, probably should have known, I've just got a fucking Wix ad on my stream. Jesus, the viewers have fallen down. But one thing I would say is that on the topic of... I didn't know that what's-his-name was so incredibly racist. Woodrow Wilson. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I knew that Woodrow Wilson was a bit racist, but Woodrow Wilson was like trying to do things to preserve the white race. But yeah, right. So yeah, Plattner's up to crazy shit. Graham Plattner. Oh my god, there's a Free Press article which is, what does Palantir actually do by the Free Press? The Free Press is the most establishment outlet ever. I actually can't find this. By the free political violence becomes background news. Zohra Mamdani and the terror-linked imam. What happens when the internet... Oh, fuck off. Someone said Palantir found it, though. See you later, mediocre. An American president that wasn't racist doesn't exist. Yeah. To do. Yes, white people spoil in the sun. What are we going to look at? Palantir. I can't find the Palantir. Yeah, okay, so this is apparently where it comes from. New details are emerging about the recent Politico article on Democratic US Senator candidate Graham Plattner. The report highlighted a deleted Reddit account allegedly tied to Plattner, but notably did not explain how that account was located or verified. Multiple political sources now claim that advanced data analysis tools, possibly including Palantir or similar AI-driven technology, may have been used to trace the archived content and compile identifying information linking it to Plattner. As of now, Politico has not disclosed the technical methods or sources behind this discovery. So maybe it was Palantir. Maybe this is giving them too much credit, but I mean, worrying stuff. Palantir. No. Palantir genuinely do this, but I guess this is shaky, but it does sound plausible. And I think that maybe the reason that that's worrying, and a big part of that reason is that that's worrying, is think about that they can dig up anything that people did. It's crazy, and it's like, it's also kind of proof of, I don't know, it's kind of proof of like how times are so different now. It's going to be a big problem for Gen Zers and like people who were on the internet, because obviously, like, when I was younger, I used to think saying like outrageous stuff was just funny, and there's not, like, I don't think there's major traces. I mean, there's traces of it of me arguing with people on Facebook, which someone might find one day, but it's just me calling people like mean things when I was like young, and not like slurs or anything. But yeah, I mean, people thought, but a lot of people did think these jokes were very funny, and, you know, did racist things, and I think that they will be dug up. But at the same time, we didn't get swastika tattoos, or most people didn't, unlike him. Us leftists needs to work towards breaking up the union rather than change the Fed from the inside. In Minecraft, we could become the Balkans or more racist. Not gonna lie, that shit sounds... Chris, a few of us NYC capitalist skeptics are meeting up on Sunday for a burger and floppy. Wow. Doesn't surprise me, because Reddit were exposed in the past for selling data to LLMs. I bet Palantir are one of their customers. 100%. I mean, it's probably just from that. But also, what... Like, do any of you know Ross Ulbricht, who founded the Silk Road? Ross Ulbricht was found by... Ross Ulbricht was found by basically a pattern of his language. And for humans to recognize that would take ages. But for AI to do this, wouldn't take any time. But it's also funny, by the way. Graham Plattner, indeed, should be, it should be said, Jesus Christ, you had a Nazi tattoo. And, you did all of these things. The other things are worse, by the way. But, let's be real here. They don't care about this shit. Just a few days ago, what were they called? The Republican Youth League, or whatever the hell they're called, the Republican brown shirts, were like, we love Hitler. We love Hitler. Hitler is amazing. And it was just like, JD Vance was like, boys will be boys. Hitler loving is just a thing boys do. And it's like, hey, these are not boys. These are 30-year-old men. They're not making inappropriate, unacceptable jokes. They are just straight up racists. Like, they are just unbelievable racists. But I think that's something that people don't want to confront. And I hate people like Piers Morgan and people who are people who go, calling people Nazis and fascists is what leads to Charlie Kirk being shot. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. The Republican Party today is basically just, it holds similar opinions to the Nazis. Its media, its content are largely undifferent, are very dissimilar to the, are not that dissimilar to, are not that dissimilar to the Nazis, and their actual beliefs are not that dissimilar to the Nazis, Then the guys who nominated for some position said they were Nazis. Don't forget to check out Emma's tweets. Oh, okay, we'll look at Emma Vigeland's tweets. Emma's liked some of my tweets, and I know Emma is someone who's decent because she's liked some of my tweets, so... why can't I searched her name, but I spelt it wrong. How many people get tattoos that they thought looked cool but didn't understand the meaning of? How many vets took mercenary work for a period because the US doesn't support them? How many young men have shitposted online? Do we want authentic working class party or not? I think that when it's part of your selling point, I think that when it's part of your selling point of I served in the American military, I did many tours. I don't think that that's something that you should be proud of. I think you should say, hey, I'm not so sure about this. And in my understanding, I saw Baddie Empanada talking about how... Didn't Bad Empanada say that, he's on about, building boats to fight against China? And it's just like, oh, God, what is that? And, I think that the thing is, for me in America, you need such radical change. And I think that there are so many different equations between here. Which is yes, people have shitposted online, and I think maybe you should say, when someone is very young, if their politics change fundamentally, then I don't think what they posted. People are skeptical of that Dean guy, and I've seen some things about Dean that do make me question his alleged changes on that topic. But I think that ultimately, being young and thinking that the answers are in conservatism because it makes you feel good about themselves and it's good about yourselves and never makes you actually critique yourself and engage with what you think or believe and just makes you feel basically, this is all right and I get to be Galileo fighting against the woke mindset, especially if you grew up in the last, 10, 15 years. I think that that's not surprising that many young men engage with that. And I think that, people should apologise and rectify what they did. But look at iDubbbz. iDubbbz said some crazy shit. And I think iDubbbz bears a lot of responsibility, especially speaking as someone who I was young during that time of thinking hey, what is funny is just saying the most outrageous thing. When it's not quite that. Maybe, yeah, sure, it would get a laugh. But you're hey, actually, maybe there's something to be said about not just saying this stuff. I think that Bad Empanada cannot be crazy, but then at times I think Bad Empanada can do sometimes crazy things. So, but I rate the things that he says. How many young men have shitposted online? But I think that the core difference is got tattoos not knowing what they meant and thought they looked cool. I just think there's something to be said about being in the American military and getting a Nazi tattoo. Dividing the left won't help anyone. I agree with you that dividing the left won't help anyone, but I think at certain points we have to say, with things to do with the left, that there are certain points at which we have to say, hey, maybe if you're not like very apologetic about what you did and served in it, let's look at Graham Plattner. Is it for Graham Plattner for Senate? For Senate, yeah. Let's have a look at his Graham Plattner for Senate. Let's go through. Now I'm just going to have these pin things because I'm really stupid. Meet Graham. Let's meet Graham.
What I love most about Maine are the people. I have never met people...
Jesus Christ, the quality of this is awful.
What I love most about Maine are the people. I have never met people who are more hard-scrabble, even in a place that requires you to work like 2 or 3 different jobs. We have watched this state become essentially unlivable for working-class people, and it makes me deeply angry. My name is Graham Plattner, and I'm running for U.S. Senate in Maine to defeat Susan Collins. A decade of military service going overseas. Farming oysters to feed my community. Diving to lend a hand to other fishermen. Trying to...
Wait, what did he just say?
Farming oysters to feed Susan Collins. A decade of military service going overseas.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of the problem, or why I can see why people would be very uncomfortable about that. Far more reactionaries and fascists than leftists. Leftists just hate criticism. Yes, leftists, but we should be engaging in hours of self-criticism every day. You know that. Please, guys, we need to do the self-criticism circle on the Discord. Members-only self-criticism circle. But I think that here's where the problem lies. Like, where you kind of have these, this thing of this guy saying, oh, I served 10 years overseas. As like a kind of like selling point.
Farming oysters to feed my community. Diving to lend a hand to other fishermen. Trying to start a family. But everywhere I've gone, it seems like the fabric of what holds us together is being ripped apart by billionaires and corrupt politicians, profiting off of destroying our environment, driving our families into poverty, and crushing the middle class. I did 4 infantry tours in the Marine Corps and the Army. I'm not afraid to name an enemy.
He's mentioned that multiple times and also refers to people as the enemy. And like, however you feel about Saddam Hussein, and Saddam Hussein is not someone we should lie for or make out was a good guy. Saddam Hussein was enabled in the things he did to heinous crimes against Kurds, Shias. He was enabled by the US. But yeah, I think talking about this guy, I think that's where the problem lies. I think if someone is a military veteran and they're like, hey, that was fucked up, I don't think that instantly you should be like, fuck them, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. If someone is like, that wasn't a good or moral thing to be doing, and there's much to say about the conduct of the army, and I'm against it, and I think it needs fundamental change. But when that's your selling point, and you're not like, hey, we need major reform, especially right now, because even right now, that's a very easy selling point, because it's like, look at the point that the army has reached. Because Pete Hegseth didn't emerge out of nowhere. The kind of like, I know he got no claps from the seniors, but that's more because they're like, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's like a drunk cheater on his wife, and potentially, allegedly, someone who may have raised his hands against his wife, but he's an idiot. But I think that like when this is the selling point and you're not even like majorly criticizing, you know, I think that's hard for me. And it's like when you're saying, well, lots of veterans did PMC. Also, Chelsea scored again 5 goals for the Jam mighty Chelsea. Who scored? Tyreek George. Chelsea cannot stop scoring. Also, any of you are audio perverts, tell me a microphone that's good. This microphone is staying in Canada. Goodbye forever to the HyperX Quadcast. I need a new microphone. I might even get 2. I'd like one that you can hold for videos, because I'd like to record myself holding it. But I think that, yeah, it's the lack of remorse and like the failure to confront what they're actually like, the US military. I've seen so many leftist vets constantly having proud veteran as the first thing. Yeah, I think that like being proud of it is kind of where my problem lies. Like, and this is at least 2 times already he said this.
The enemy is the oligarchy. It's the billionaires who pay for it, and the politicians who sell us out. And yeah, that means politicians like Susan Collins. I'm not fooled.
But I think also, if you genuinely believe that that, like, if you're genuinely someone who is an anti-capitalist, someone with a meaningful position, I think you should probably be saying, if the enemy is the oligarchy, that all of the wars that you were in service, because people will say, well, it was BP's bottom line, and yes, BP are like a key figure, and the Iraq War was largely about oil. But I think that, and I've even said that, but I think that also Iraq needs to be understood in the context of a much wider thing, and the money and guns being given to, the money and guns flowing in and around the United States, the amount of people who profited hugely from the Iraq War, and that needs to be confronted. And also, to the person who said Chelsea finally found their level, we beat Liverpool. So we're brilliant, and we just have to get a red card every game. Maybe if Chelsea could go 10 minutes without a red card, they'd be brilliant. But this one, we haven't got one.
By this fake charade of Collins' deliberations and moderation. The difference between Susan Collins and Ted Cruz is at least Ted Cruz is honest about selling us out and not giving a damn. People know that the system is screwing them. They know it in their bones. Nobody I know around here can afford a house. Healthcare is a disaster. Hospitals are closing. We have watched all of that get ripped away from us, and everyone's just trying to keep it all together. Why can't we have universal healthcare like every other first world country? Why can't we take care of our veterans when they come home? Why are we funding endless wars and bombing children? Why are CEOs more powerful than unions? We fought 3 different wars.
It's just a pretty incongruent position, right? Like, it's a pretty incongruous position of, like, end endless wars, proud military.
Since the last time.
Or, like, because why wouldn't you say, hey, actually, I was betrayed in my military service and what I did was wrong and I was sold this faux vision about, you know, something that was not at all what they claimed and said it was, you know? But I don't know. I've got Rhoda Wireless. I've got 2 Rhoda Wireless. I just don't use them.
And we raised the
I should use them. They're expensive microphones.
minimum wage. I'm not pretending to have all the answers, but I know that I'm asking the right questions. When I tell people around here that I'm running for Senate, sometimes the initial reaction is, what the f***? But when I tell them why I'm doing it, because I truly do believe that we can build a system that is going to represent working people, the number one response has been, well, thank God somebody's going to do it. You're supposed to fight for the things you love. This is our home, and I will fight tirelessly for it, for you. It's Mainers first, in Maine, always.
I'm a Mainer. I'm an anti-mage Mainer. All those camera cuts are to edit out the aisle scene. Shut up, eating Play-Doh. But yeah, can someone tell me what he did with Lenin? Or who's bastardizing Lenin? Hassan or him? I don't know. I'm not an expert on Lenin. If you say war is bad. Yeah, but I think that maybe if saying war is bad is leading people to not vote for you, then maybe there's a fundamental problem with the system. Mein über alles in dem Welt. Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. How long was that? How long was Deutschland über alles there? The German national anthem. When did they get rid of it? Oh, it was only the third stanza as we confirmed. Apparently, the third stanza is the third is the thing. Wow. Where does it say it? Doing. It's because Americans respect violence. Yeah. Well, I mean, basically in all democracies, violence is respected. Violence is, you know, people just do respect violence because it's meted out by the state, but violence is core to creating the respect in a democracy. California Über Alles by yeah, I know that song. It's not also by the Disposable Heroes of Hip Hop, is it? It's by the Dead Kennedys. Yeah, it's by the Dead Kennedys. I am Governor Jerry Brown. My aura smiles. I will be Fuhrer one day. I am Graham Plattner. My Iraq PMC life smiles. Right, anyway, that's enough Graham Plattner talk and communism talk. Looks like instead we're going to watch Chelsea win 8-0 or 8-1. Right. No, I'm joking. We're not watching that. Let's look at the ICJ, because I haven't actually seen that much about it. We're not watching the ICJ opinion. It's yeah. So the ICJ offered a ruling on Palestine. The ruling on Palestine was not the genocide case
from the bench today,
because unfortunately we have to wait ages because the ICJ gave Israel even longer to respond. But it's really hard to see that Israel won't be found guilty of genocide.
The court found that Israel has not complied with its...
Sorry, someone just donated or became a member. Nola, thanks for the 5 memberships. Shout out Nola. Shout out the 5 new members you're going to hear over and over again, but...
obligation, because sufficient supplies of the essentials of life, food, water, medicines, clothing, shelter, healthcare items, have not been...
Okay, this is not what I was looking for. Let me find a different one. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Has anyone got like a quick summary of this? What the fuck is this? Sorry, I've just gone and I've been recommended a video called oh my god, right, sorry, I just want to fix this. I don't know how I've opened these tabs. There we go. I've just got a video called "Could You Stop Ronaldo from Scoring a Goal?" What is this?
Can you imagine how hard it is to stop Ronaldo from scoring a goal? Can you imagine how hard it is to stop Ronaldo from scoring a goal? I used to play soccer. Let me tell you, it's almost impossible. But the Iranian team just did the impossible. To the Iranian people, I say, you showed courage on the playing field. And today you show the same courage in the streets of Iran. Iran has many problems: air pollution, water scarcity, billions wasted on terror. Can you imagine what would happen if the Iranian government, instead of wasting your money on Syria and Yemen...
So funny, like, your government is wasting so much money whilst many people live in poverty. You waste the billions that the US government gives to you and goes, here's free money. You waste the unlimited diplomatic support to just wage genocidal wars in the Middle East. This rhetoric about Iran wasting money is so funny. And in fact, Israel's recent assault showed that the axis of resistance, apparently to many Iranians, was more of a defensive tool than it was an offensive tool, because Israel is willing to kill hundreds of Iranians to try and get to the regime and displace it, and it was talking about trying to move it out, but it failed in that. What was I going to fucking look at? Al Jazeera will probably have a summary. This isn't AI, this is an old video. This is from 7 years ago.
And unnecessary wars in the Middle East would start investing in and solving these problems in Iran. The solution to all these problems is the Iranian people. That's why I offered medical aid to save Iranian lives after a devastating earthquake. That's why I opened a Farsi Telegram group to teach water conservation to Iranian farmers. And that's why I'll never stop advocating for peace with the Iranian people. One day I'll hope to watch the soccer team go head-to-head against Israel in a free Tehran. On that day, we'll all be winners.
Wow. We got some great content to watch next. Playing Minecraft Islamically, which I've heard is not that good. I'm cancelling Jubilees Surrounded, and I'm coming clean. You know, I've told you before, I was meant to go on the one with Ahmed Fouad Al-Khatib. I could have met the bold fraud. It's just an old video. Yeah, it's 100% real. Unserious ass settler colony. Yes, I'm just seeing if I can find anything about like the ICJ ruling. The ICJ released an advisory opinion. Okay, I guess we'll pull up something then. We'll have to watch a... It's like, this is amazing, because the ICJ had already ruled that Israel needed to do more to facilitate aid months ago, and it's so funny because they're just doing nothing. They just did nothing, and people have starved to death already. It's why it's so hard to be, like, really excited by the ICJ saying this. It's just more and more weight behind the fact Israel is perpetrating genocide, because they've been told over and over again, allow aid in, and they just don't do it because they want to starve the population of the Gaza Strip. The only interesting part about this really was like UNRWA can't be impeded. Maybe the Minecraft video is good. Wow. Wear these pads to sleep for one night, then brace yourself. This is on the BBC. Yeah, don't read the BBC. You are right. The Guardian's not much better. The Guardian. ICJ. Here we go. Israel must allow aid into Gaza, and its restrictions on doing so over the past 2 years have put it in breach of its obligations. Also, by the way, absolutely quality stuff going on here as well. Judge Sebatunde, the Ugandan lady who believes she has to support Israel because of God, was offering some amazing dissenting opinions, just genuinely crap. She was like, we can't know what's actually going on in Gaza, so we can't give them aid because Hamas and fucking these people are stealing it. It's like, sorry, you're saying that Hamas have done all of these things, but you don't know either, and these are politically motivated. Canada 2026 World Juniors game. You gotta get here with your Timothy Hortons. No, I've not seen. We don't get ads in the UK on BBC because it's government funded. Israel must allow the stinging advisory opinion by the ICJ in The Hague also found Israel has a duty not to impede the supply of aid by UN organisations, including the beleaguered UN Palestinian Relief Agency, UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Work Agency. This is why it was being challenged, and at the ICJ, if you fucking occupy a territory, you literally have to feed them, basically. Of course. We know that Israel is occupying them. We know that Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war. So it's kind of like, God, this opinion just feels too little too late, but I guess it's worth talking about. The court found Israel had not produced adequate evidence to justify ending cooperation with UNRWA. Of course it hadn't. We knew that Israel didn't have the evidence. They said UNRWA is Hamas, and then fucking idiots on Twitter parroted it. Also, by the way, really funny phenomenon going on YouTube. There's on X, Twitter, currently a huge issue going on with some of the biggest pro-Israel accounts having to delete themselves because they are basically just racist degenerates who aren't actually from Israel. They are just really racist degenerates. So it turns out that one of the main accounts, Cheryl wrote it, how anyone thought was a real person when this was their profile picture, which is so clearly AI. Bill Ackman was interacting with this account, and this was one of the key spreaders. They pretended, they always called Salah Al-Jafari Mr. Fafo. This is Fafo. This account pretended to be a ballistics expert. They pretended that their family were killed in a bombing, which is categorically untrue. They pretended that they were from Israel. Apparently they're from New Jersey. I don't buy it. I think they're probably some random Indian. So many of these accounts spreading crap on the internet are random Indians. Like, genuinely. Inevitable West, an account that was messaged by someone who could be the next Prime Minister of the UK, an account which tweeted, ban the Quran, burn the mosques, or something to that effect, and said he was a great fan of their work, allegedly. That account, I believe, was Indians. There have just been all these Indian bot accounts which are promoted by the Twitter algorithm and are no doubt inflated by bots anyway. I mean, many of the people who engage with your tweets, if you tweet negatively about the UAE, it's just bots. You see so many bots going crazy on this platform. Twitter is an entirely made-up platform. But yeah, I'm sorry, I've gone mental. But so many of these accounts are gonna get unable to post because they're gonna reveal where they're from. Another account called Neo Berg, which is a weird account anyway, because the woman... Like, look at the pic of this major pro-Israel account. I think that the truth is that pro-Israelis just love slop, and they will believe anything. People believe that this is a real person. Like, they have multiple photos, but what's going on there? They're so filtered up that you could never ever work out who that was. Like, I'm sorry, they're apparently an Iranian Jew. Like, it's not unbelievable that an Iranian Jewish person exists, but it's just like, this as your profile picture? Like, maybe that's not AI, but that looks weird. That doesn't look really very real. It doesn't even look like filters. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm troubled. I'm troubled by Neo Berg. I am troubled by this. Look at this one. Look at this one. Yaron Nadornik. She might be real, but oh my god. Look at this guy with the filter on. What? Why can you not post a photo of your face without a filter on? Oh, yeah. I've accidentally just closed the fucking Guardian article. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, the Cheryl Wrote It account was endorsed by Bill Ackman, Zionist billionaire, who, you know what, I was saying I don't really like Tucker Carlson, but he was like, he said billionaires do not show you a sign of talent because otherwise Bill Ackman would not be a billionaire. And it's like, yeah, maybe if you think that account, Cheryl Wrote It, who pretends to be a ballistics expert, is like some real amazing thing. Oof! Funny that these like AI slop accounts are like the best Israel has come up with. But as I say, I think that they all like made up slop that just fits their narrative. Because the truth is I have loved this comment so much. Facts don't care about your feelings. Feelings only, your feelings only care about the facts. Your feelings only care about facts which fit with your feelings. That's how it operates. Can you believe they are real? If okay, maybe they can believe they are real if you've ever seen. I mean, most Americans, women in American politics. Who is it? Who's the one who's like? Is it how old's Kirsty Noem? Kirsty Noem. Is it Kirsty Noem? Who I'm thinking of here? That like Kirsty Noem has looked. Kirsty Noem is someone who Kirsty Noem is strange. Like, she is very strange looking. Here's Kirsty Noem in 2010. Here's Kirsty Noem. Are there photos of her throughout? Here's her in 2025. That doesn't look like the same person that you've just seen. What is happening in America? You're eating too much sodium. Is the UAE just outsourcing? Look, if you want to read about this, there are two people who write about this really well. I'll put their names in chat. Mark Owen Jones, former lecturer at the University of Exeter, who moved over to Qatar, and sorry, she's just going to be up there for the rest of the stream. I might just, when I'm back home, everyone's like, oh, get something to put on your wall. And the other one is Andreas Krieg. But I'll just put up a photo of her on the wall because I love her. Oh my god, I shouldn't have said that live. Oh my god. You guys have just found out who my girlfriend is. Oh my god, fuck. Chris is jealous of us. You guys, you'll have been eating way too much sodium. I've accidentally just opened Apple Music. If you have such, if you're got such great plastic surgeons, why are you looking like Kirsty Noem? Christy Noem, sorry. The ruling set that Israel has violated the UN's immunities as set out in the UN Charter, as well as ignored its humanitarian obligations as an occupying power under the Geneva Convention, is bound to lead to further calls from Israel's suspension from the UN. Guys, no. This is actually anti-Semitic. Because the thing is that Jew state, Israel Jewish state, and Jewish people unfairly targeted. Yeah. Basically, because Israeli people are Jewish, UN bad. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? UN bad because Israelis Jewish. Okay? It is also possible that some countries will now claim that the UN Secretary, Antonio Guterres, should seek damages from Israel for breaching the immunity of UN staff premises and entities inside occupied Palestine by bombing them and ending cooperation with UNRWA. Israel has paid compensation in one previous case nearly 40 years ago. They should do more than pay him compensation by Israel receiving justice. And the UN should be held to account for doing nothing to protect them. The UN should have used their own F-35 bomber jets. They should have called everyone into action and gone, Tel Aviv, now, do it, boom. That's what I would have done. If I was the chair of the UN, Antonio Guterres, I would have called up Agent 47 and I would have said, drop a piano on Netanyahu's head and he would be no more. Or push him down some stairs if it's Hitman Blood Money and he'll just fall over. They're trying to look like Luma. Yes, I caught the stream. Hi, Molten Panda. Hi. You've caught the stream. Congratulations. There'll be one or two more this week, depending on what I'm up to. Maybe one Friday, maybe one tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, if I was the UN, I'd be paging Agent 47 and telling him, get your ass over to Israel right now. But yeah, I just mean, and I know I'm kind of joking here, but Jesus Christ, when it comes to Israel, you gotta see that something very serious has to be done and had to be done a long time ago. And you can kind of see I'm half-heartedly covering this because it's interesting and it's an important story. And I was hearing something about it, but yeah. I mean, you just look at what this is and it's just oh my God, it's just not. It's just not significant when it's so many months too late and we all knew these things. The only people who wouldn't have believed these things are not going to be swayed by this because they're genuinely deranged. Because as I say, Zionism and lying go hand in hand because it's all about their feelings. It's all about feeling like Galileo. They all think that... Zionists are so funny because they all think on the one hand the world is against them, but then they all think the world is actually with them. They all think that Jewish people are the most hated category in the world and that no government supports them, when basically no government has done anything against Israel. It's such a deluded position. I was thinking about writing a couple of YouTube videos whilst I was here, which I've not done. But I was thinking maybe about one of Zionism and lying, which I may well start doing, don't know. And also a couple of others, which maybe we'll see. But I don't know. But yeah, Israel's been given impunity. And then its supporters are just no, actually, Jewish people are the biggest victims in the world. Case in point. The ICJ ruling came in the form of an advisory opinion after a request from the UN General... Oh, sorry. Israel dismissed the ICJ findings in a message on X, the Everything app. X really is the Everything app. You can see unfiltered racism, denials of war crimes by the Israeli government, unfiltered racism from the Israeli government, unfiltered racism from some random Indian person posing as a white man or posing as a white woman in particular. It's really the most amazing app that really has given us everything, as Yilong Ma promised us. It's just Jesus. A Mossad bot has started the... if you don't know, look at the current court case against Netanyahu that has been going on for longer than the Gaza war. Yeah, I mean, I know about the court case. Now, what do you mean Hamas started the war on October 7th? Hamas did not start... Also, by the way, Hamas did not start a war on October the 7th. Israel had been engaged in a genocide against the Palestinian people long before October the 7th. Long before. It was a genocide that was a cultural genocide, seeking and aiming specifically towards to the destruction of Palestinians as a society, as a people, as a whole. And that's what Israel wanted to do. And October the 7th was an event in which Palestinians broke out from the cage and they were killed. But still, I think it's worth saying, because I think that even if you're saying it, and I know you're saying it's a joke, but I still think the point stands, and I apologise for not seeing the joke, but what I'm saying is that we have to view it as a structure, and I think that that's the most important thing to talk about. That October the 7th is not some special event. October the 7th is just a wider part of the structure of Zionist racism in Palestine. No occupied, colonized people should be made to give up their land for free. But yeah, making fun of the boomers. I hate the damn boomers. I'm a Zoomer, so of course I hate the boomers. They're all chopped unks, that's all I'm saying. 6'7", chopped unks. Okay, guys, if any of you are like 18 in the stream, you must have loved that. Chopped unks, 6'7", barbershop. Do you like that? Guys, anyone under the age of 20, did you like that? Hello? Hello? By the way, guys, I ate so much food today. Canadian pancakes, with maple syrup, a Canadian breakfast sandwich, Canadian fries. My God, the amount of food I was eating. Whew, whew. I just lost 18 people left the stream after I went 6'7" chopped hunks. The ICJ, sorry. Yeah. Israel fully upholds its obligations under international law, and Jimmy Savile was a respecter of children, and Adolf Hitler fully respected international law. Thank you, Israel. The ICJ ruling came in the form of an advisory opinion after a request from the UN General Assembly in December, prompted by Israel's parliament in October, ending all cooperation with UNRWA, claiming the organisation had been irrevocably infiltrated by Hamas in Gaza. UNRWA rejects the claim, and the ICJ found that Israel hasn't substantiated the allegations. Yes, Montreal has fucking amazing food and reasonably priced food. Oh my God, I love the food in Montreal. I can see the merits of wanting to live here. I have spent so much less and eaten so good, and my girlfriend is an amazing cook. We've eaten potatoes and meatballs in a stew. The things happening here are crazy. She is not an unk. Boomers loves people's front of Judea jokes. What's a people's front of Judea jokes? Also, where's the person gone updating me on the Chelsea score? Or have Chelsea just not scored? Chop chop, score boy. Where are you, score boy? Chris, you forgot UNRWA is Hamas. That's why I'm fucking laughing. Because what is this crap? Like, just imagine just going, yeah, the entire UN is Hamas. Israel's war against UNRWA isn't because it's Hamas. Israel's war against UNRWA is because it keeps the Palestinians able to exist as what they are, which is refugees of the which are refugees who have been subjected to displacement and brutality at the hands of a disgusting genocidal project. That's what this is all about, and that's why they hate UNRWA. It's not because anything to do with UNRWA being like Hamas. And I know you're joking, but like, yeah, UNRWA is a bit unky, you know. UNRWA's like fucking 80 years old. That is genuine unk status. That is chopped unk status. 100. What do you think about that? This is how I'm just going to talk on stream from now on. When I get back to the UK, I'm going to have like write down these words like chopped unk. No. That's not it. Can you tell someone in Montreal, laissez les bons temps rouler? Good time roulette? I don't know. Leave the nice temps roulette. Thanks for Nola, 5 months. The fact that some of you have been here 5 months, basically since the YouTube channel started, is amazing. I've never seen The Life of Brian. Need to see that. British cuisine's not that bad. Like, the food here is good, and you find a lot of places who are very good, but a lot. Laissez les bons temps rouler. Rouler just means roll. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I speak a tiny bit of French. No, the ICJ findings, including an assertion that the humanitarian position inside Gaza remained catastrophic, and massive casualties that are going. Jesus Christ, this is not surprising. I heard occurred. It took well over an hour to read and were mostly agreed by 10 votes to 1 by the judges. Yeah, the only person who dissented is fucking Sebatunde. Sorry, I meant to mute then. Sorry, I really need some water, but I might be able to tough it out. I wish I'd learned French. I wish I learned French instead of German. I love dry chicken and vegetables. What, are you saying that's all we eat in the UK? Maybe the audio cut in and out, or I don't know. Right. But yeah, like, just reading this sentence here is, it's like, Jesus, this isn't surprising. Like, this isn't surprising. Actually, you know what? I can go and get a new... I can go and get a new glass of water. Also, that is what's probably causing issues with my PC. With the chopped unks. I need to go get some more water. Hold on. It'll literally take me a second. There's another glass in this room. My throat is really dry and I'm struggling to talk. Yeah, I chopped the sound. So, sorry about that. Sorry, it's literally just the lack of water. I'm completely fine, by the way, as well. German food is worse than British food. I'm sorry, I don't like German food. There's some things that are okay, but I can't eat currywurst. So I guess that kind of puts me down. I do like the whole salami loving stuff. I love cured meats. But I've always preferred Italian salami. But yeah, it's just like... And just look at this. This is also the other problem. We would expect Israel now to comply, and we hope that will mean that the UN will be granted full access. We now expect Israel, in line with the court opinion, to grant access not just to the UN, but to the NGOs who are ready and willing to help. I mean, like, yeah, it's like... It's like, you kind of hear these stuff, and it's like, just, what do you say at this point? What do you say at this point? Like, I think that all of this stuff is like, yes, Israel has this obligation, but it's not going to comply with international law, and no Western countries are changing on the basis of this opinion. You know, they're just not gonna do this. Sucuk. I've not tried sucuk. That sounds like a Turkish dish, though. We would expect, in one of the most damning findings, the court said that Israel as an occupying power is under duty not to use starvation as a method of warfare, pointing out that the Israeli government blocked all UN aid into Gaza from the 2nd of March to the 18th of May. The court found the GHF, the aid agency set up by Israel, was not an adequate substitute. By the way, the ICJ, the GHF is literally the worst thing that you could imagine. The ICJ, the GHF just did not work. I keep Freudian slipping and saying that the ICJ didn't work, and maybe there's some merit to that. But yeah, it just didn't work because the GHF was like basically just a Hunger Games, and that's an accurate description. But that's not how aid should be distributed. But yeah, I mean, I feel that basically I'm going to end this here because my phone is going to die, which will mean that the stream ends. So, but yeah, and also one of the craziest things is, by the way, I don't know if any of you have heard this, but apparently, I actually can't believe this, guys. I, for one, am so shocked to hear this. Apparently, there have been no aid thefts in Gaza now that there is no longer a genocide. Or no longer an active genocide. Well, the genocide's still ongoing in the sense of, like, the effects are still there, but, like, the aid is now not being looted. Now the Israeli military aren't engaged in major bombardment. It's so weird, isn't it? It's so weird. Who's surprised by that one? I could never have seen that coming. I thought Hamas stole all the aid, and Hamas have become more powerful and have had more control over Gaza, but now the aid looting has stopped? What? But yeah, anyway, guys, that's the end of the stream. I'll let you guys know about tomorrow. We'll see what happens with the stream. It depends what I'm doing, but there'll definitely be 1 or 2 more this week. Thank you all for coming. Next week is my final week here, and so basically not next week, but the week after will be my full return to streaming. Full 4 days a week minimum, 5 days some weeks, depending on what I'm doing. So thank you all for coming. Have a lovely rest of the day. And yeah, thank you all. And now I'm going to have to sit here for 10 seconds and go...